Evening, everyone. We are the Group G, and our topic for today is all about ecotourism in protected areas. My name is Angela Faith Manggubat, and joining me for this report are my group mates Cassandra Verador, Jacob Hagunos, Rimar Coblan, and Bronny Rose Eshang. Next slide, please. Protected areas are places set aside for native biota to survive and flourish amidst human growth and encroachment. The management goals of protected areas include the conservation of species diversity, maintenance of representative habitats, preservation of rare and threatened species, and sustainable tourism. So, protected areas are special places in nature that are set aside to protect plants, animals, and their natural habitats. These areas help wildlife survive despite human activities like construction, farming, or pollution. Their main goals are to conserve different species, protect important habitats, save rare or endangered animals, and promote responsible tourism. So the main goals of protected areas are to conserve different species, to protect important habitats, to preserve rare and endangered animals, and to support sustainable tourism. So next, ecotourism activities inside these protected areas allow people to enjoy nature in a sustainable and respectful way. When done properly, ecotourism helps both the environment and the local communities. It supports conservation efforts while also giving jobs and income to people living in rural areas. In the Philippines, ecotourism is an important tool to balance nature protection and economic development. Next slide, please. So first, protected areas. Protected areas are special parts of land or sea that are officially set aside to protect nature. According to the IUCN, these areas are meant to conserve biological diversity, meaning the different plants, animals, and ecosystems, and protect natural and cultural resources. These areas are managed through laws or other effective systems to make sure they stay safe for future generations. Second, protected areas include different kinds of habitats, both on land and in water. Some of these places are considered critical habitats, meaning they are very important for certain species to survive. These areas also act as a gene banks, which means they help preserve valuable plants and animal species that might be rare or endangered. Next slide, please. Third, um, protected areas can be owned or managed by different groups. They may be under the government, private organization, local communities, or even indigenous group. This means that many different sectors work together to take care of these important natural spaces. Next slide, please. In the Philippines, the management of protected areas is mainly handled by the Department of Environment and Natural Resources or DENR. They work together with other government agencies like NGOs and people's organizations to monitor, protect, and manage these areas properly. So, in summary, protected areas are essential because they conserve biodiversity, protect important habitats, and help safeguard our natural resources. Their management involves teamwork between government and community groups to make sure these places remain healthy and protected. So that's all for protected areas. Next reporter, please.
So, good day everyone. Today I'll be talking about marine protected areas, also known as MPAs. What they are, why they're important, and how they are managed here in the Philippines. So, according to the International Union for Conservation of Nature, or IUCN, a marine protected area is any area of intertidal or subtidal terrain, together with its overlying water and associated flora, fauna, historical, and cultural features, which has been reserved by law or other effective means to protect part and all of the enclosed environment. So, in simpler terms, MPAs are specific parts of the ocean and coastal areas that are protected to conserve marine life. So, preserve biodiversity and maintain the health of our ecosystems. And MPAs can be set up in two ways by protecting several small sites, smaller, strictly protected zone. So these areas can include different kinds of ecosystems such as mangrove forests, beach forests, estuaries, bays, coral reefs, seagrass beds, and even deep sea areas. And next slides, please. So, in the Philippines, the management and protection of these marine and coastal areas are governed by two important laws: the NIPAS Act of 1992 or Republic Act 7586, and the Philippine Fisheries Code of 1998 or Republic Act 8550. So, these laws ensure that our country's rich marine resources are used sustainably and protected for future generations. So, among all the countries in Southeast Asia, the Philippines actually has the most number of marine protected areas, which estimates ranging from 400 to more than 500 sites. However, studies have shown that only 10 to 20% of these MPAs are fully functional or effective as true conservation areas. This means that while there are many MPAs established, not all are being properly managed or implemented. Next slide, please. So, a study by Alcala and colleagues in 2008 revealed that in the Visayan region alone, there are 564 marine reserves, and about 34% or 190 of them are considered functional. So, in Bohol, which is the 10th largest island in the country, there are 169 marine reserves, with 62 of them or 37% functioning effectively. So, aside from environmental protection, MPAs also contribute to the local economy through tourism. About 20% of these functional marine reserves generate income from tourism activities such as scuba diving, snorkeling, and swimming. So, a great example is the fish sanctuary in the Pamilacan Island, which not only serves as a protected area for marine life, but is also a famous dolphin and whale watching site attracting both local and foreign tourists. So, in conclusion, marine protected areas or MPAs play a vital role in, in conserving our oceans, protecting marine biodiversity, and supporting sustainable tourism. However, while the Philippines has many MPAs, there's still a need for stronger management, enforcement, and community participation to make these protected areas truly effective. And that's all for MPAs. Next presenter, please.
Next slide, please. Mabuhay ka Turismo. I am Remarkable One from Group 3, and I will be talking about um, tourism in protected areas. These places are popular because of their natural beauty and wildlife, and people visit them for activities like hiking, sightseeing, or focus. Today is how we can enjoy these areas while still protecting and preserving them for the future. Next slide, please. Um, Protected areas in many parts of the world are very popular ecotourism destinations. The natural beauty of the protected area, with its diverse biota, fas- fascinating geology, and interesting geography, provide unique and outstanding pieces of the development of diverse recreational activities such as mountain climbing, hiking, camping, and slinking and scuba diving. According to the Wearing 2008 P138, protected areas such as parks from the basis for much of the visiting and appreciation of the natural attributes. The IUCN World Conservation Union, or UCN 1994 P19, states that protected areas can provide foundation for spiritual, educational, recreational, and visitor opportunities, all of which must be environmentally and culturally compatible. Next slide, please. Sige, next slide. Sige pa. Yeah. Today, we'll be discussing international categories of protected areas and natural heritage sites. These are special places recognized not only by our country but international organizations for their ecological, cultural, and scientific importance. On the screen, you'll see example of these categories. First, we have UNESCO's biospheres reserves, such as um, Puerto, Puerto Galera, and Palawan, which are protected because they balance biodiversity, conservation, and sustainable use. Next, we have UNESCO World Natural Heritage Sites like Tubata Reefs and the and the Puerto Princesa subterranean river. These are globally recognized for their outstanding natural beauty and ecological value. We also have Ramsar sites or wetlands of international importance, places like Olango Island, Agusan Marsh that play a major role in wildlife protection and water conservation. And then the ASEAN Heritage Park, including Mount Apo and Mount Iglip Bako, which are protected on a regional level for their biological richness. Lastly, we have transboundary marine reserves such as the Turtle Islands, shared with other countries to protect migratory species. As we go through this topic, I want you to think about why this area matters not only for tourism, but for environmental protection and future generation. Understanding this classification help us appreciate the responsibility we have preserving our natural heritage. Next slide, please. Next slide. Yeah. Um, Linking biodiversity conservation and tourism and protected. Bio Biodiversity conservation means protecting different species, ecosystem, and natural process. Tourism in protected areas means visitors exploring places like national parks, marine sanctuaries, and wildlife reserves. Linking the two means understanding that tourism depends on healthy environments tourists visit because of the beautiful landscapes, wildlife, and clean ecosystems. Conservation can benefit from tourism when it brings funding, awareness, and community support. Protected area must be managed in a way that tourism does not damage environments. So that would be all. Thank you. Next presenter, please.
Good day, everyone. Next. Ecotourism in protected areas should be planned and managed within the frameworks of sustainable development, with a strong focus on ways to balance conservation and local community welfare. Tourism in protected areas may sometimes undermine the well-being of the local community, especially the poor, who could lose their entitlements and resources that are important for the daily substances. This is because extractions and unsustainable use of terms. Ecocentrism in protected areas should be guided by sustainable development to safeguard ecosystems and support local livelihoods. Effective management must balance conservation objectives with community needs, as poorly regulated tourism can degrade the environment and limit access to essential resources, ultimately affecting local well-being. Next. Community participation has been discussed in the ecotourism literature and has often been considered an important tool to enhance the outcomes of conservation efforts protected areas. The success of community tourism depends on the active participation and support of a range of stakeholders and partners who are in agreement with the conservation goals and objectives. Community participation is essential in managing protected areas because it strengthens conservation efforts and improves ecotourism outcomes. When our local people are involved in decision making, planning, and monitoring, they help protect natural resources while any collaboration among communities, government agencies, and other stakeholders ensures that tourism remains sustainable and that both nature and local well-being are supported. Thank you. Next reporter, please.
Good day, everyone. I'm Roneros Agapay Eshang from Group 3, and I'll be reporting about the management of protected areas for sustainable tourism. Excuse me. The World Commission on Protected Areas, ICN WCPA to IUCN, has developed a comprehensive set of international guidelines for the planning and management of sustainable tourism and protected areas. A business approach to tourism and protected areas that is consistent with the approved site conservation plan and legal framework has also suggested by WCPA or IUCN. So, when we say protected areas, mao ni ang mga lugar nga ginaprotektahan para ma-preserve ang nature, like forest, mountains, or marine sanctuaries. Pero bisan protected siya, pwede gihapon ma-develop for tourism as long as sustainable siya, meaning dili makadaot sa environment. So according to World Commission on Protected Areas, naa sila'y international guidelines para sa planning and management of tourism sa protected areas. Ang ilang goal kay para mabalance ang tourism development o environmental protection. They also suggest a business approach na musunod sa legal framework o conservation plan. Meaning, kung mag-open og tourism activity sa protected area, kinahanglan nga legal, organized, o dili makadaot sa kalikupan. For example, kung naa kay mountain resort sulod sa protected forest, kinahanglan imong business mag-follow sa DENR regulations like waste management o limit sa number of guests. So next. So the economic benefits from tourism can be used to better the lives of the local residents and help them attain aspiration for themselves and their children. As such, ecotourism would be able to motivate the local communities to conserve these areas. The management of protected areas for sustainable tourism can also be achieved by incorporating the knowledge and experiences gained from social, natural, and physical sciences, as well as by integrating the views and concerns of the local community and indigenous people. So, for economic benefits to local, example, tourism can really help local communities. Ang kita gikan sa tourism pwede magamit para sa ilang panginabuhi, like mapaeskwela sa ilang mga anak or makaton og new skills. For example, kung mag-open og eco tour sa usa ka barangay, pwede matrain ang local nga mga tour guide or magbaligya og local products. So dako kaayo nigtabang sa ilang income while protecting the environment. Also, the management of protected areas dapat magamit ang knowledge from social, natural, and physical sciences upang minawon pod ang ideas sa local and indigenous people. Sila manggod ang mga nakaila sa lugar, so ila pod dapat apilon sa decision making. So local communities dapat pod i-train ng mga nag-manage sa ilang own ecotourism business. For example, sa Bohol, ang mga local nga taga-Lubok kay sila mismo ang nag-manage sa river cruise. So nakabenepisyo sila sa income while ginabantayan po nila ang kalimpyo sa suba. So conclusion. Wait. So conclusion. Asan to? In conclusion, managing protected areas for sustainable tourism means protecting nature while helping people. Kung magtinabangay ang government, locals, o tourism businesses, mahimo gyud nga profitable and sustainable ang tourism. Challenge to the tourism industry. So, a challenge to the tourism industry. Asan na to? Challenge to the tourism industry pero dili ni sayon kay ang tourism industry nagatubang sa og challenge unsaon pagbalance sa income ug environment protection. Gina-remind sa World Summit on Sustainable Development o World Park Congress nga dapat ang tourism tourism industry maging socially responsible ug environmental accountable. Example, likayan ang sobra nga pag-market sa usa ka tourist spot kung dili pa ready ang lugar kay makadaot ra ni sa environment ug maka-overcrowded ang site. So number 1, product development. Tour operation who may have a limited understanding of the conservation rule of protected areas have been indiscriminately marketing these areas as ideal ecotourism destination. So, usahay ang tour operators wala kasabot sa conversational rule sa protected area, sige lang promote bisag dili pa prepared ang lugar. Ang resulta madami ang environment tungod sa sobra nga bisita, basura o dili tarong nga management. So second, regulatory measures. Regulatory and legal measures as well as the accreditation of ecotourism industry including the caravan and camping industry. So regulatory measures para malikayan ni kinahanglan nga ay kinahanglan og regulatory and legal measures. Kinahanglan pod og mga accreditation sa mga ecotourism operators aron makontrol ang negative impact sa tourism. So that will be all for my part. Thank you for listening, and now let's proceed to the next reporter, Mr. Jacob.
The development of implementation of codes of conducts that incorporate responsible visitors' behavior while in protected areas destinations are essential. Different international organizations such as the United Nations Environment Program, the Worldwide Fund for Nature, the World Tourism Organization, World the Pacific Asia Travel Association, the Australian Conservation Foundation, and the Australian Tourism Industry Association have developed sets of codes of conduct for ecotourism. Implementing codes of conduct that promotes responsible visitors' behavior is crucial for protected destinations. Various international organizations include the UN and WWF have established ecotourism codes. Next, please. While sharing the tourism benefit with the host community may be employed by some tour operators, it may be, in some cases, far from being equitable and transparent. For example, in Kenya, the largest portion of the annual revenue of USD 500 million from non-consumptive wildlife tourism um, accused to tourism industry, travel, transport, and hotel. However, only 1% of the rest balance is given to the landowners and whose land the wildlife reside. North Korea 1988. Despite significant revenue generation, such as Kenya's wildlife tourism bringing in USD 500 million annually, only a fraction reach local landowners, highlighting the need for fairer distribution models. Thank you. Ecotourism has a significant role in ensuring that biodiversity conservation in protected areas is maintained. The sustainability of tourism in protected areas should take into account not only the economic benefit from tourism but also the physical, biological, and cultural values of resource upon which tourism depends. Nora? Sustainable tourism in protected areas should promote strategies that regulates human impact on biodiversity, preventing the detrimental consequences of tourism can enhance tourist experience. And Maura, thank you.